Working on Crom and the Upsidedown Damsel. I got YouTube Live and now Instagram Live. So it's official. We are up and running. Let's see anything on the YouTube though. Let's see what happens. What's going on? Why can't we see anything here? Says excellent connection. A little weird. There we go. There we go. All right. We're up and rolling. All right. So it's part 3. A couple days ago, I did the gray wash. It's a graphite. Use a graphite stick, some water, and a big brush. But use the liquid masking to basically keep everything from getting dirty or that there. So I'm just going to be doing, this is a rubber cement eraser. I just found my, so this has been around for over a year. I think maybe 2 years. So you can see how that's gotten its money's worth. I mean, it still has some life in it, but I bought a packet of brand new ones off of Amazon. It was like 6 for $6 or something. Of course, when you have the Amazon Prime, you get free shipping. So, all right. So the whole idea here is, you'll see here, I just gently erase. It's basically just pulling the liquid masking up. You have to be gentle in doing this process, because if you're a little aggressive, as I can get sometimes, you can take paper up with it. So and always, this is another thing, don't go this way because you'll grab and pull paper from the edges. This is also, cheap 11 by 17 white cardstock. It's got no coating on it, so the paper will be a little rough as it goes, and then can chip up. So just got to be gentle. So it's gonna be a very meditative few minutes here, and just pulling this away. And the whole advantage of this is the black of line on white of paper, and then hiding some white by doing the liquid masking gives a real immediate 3D feel. And then really I spend the rest of the time hammering things from either side, or getting it a little bit more gray. So just a technique I picked up years ago. And I remember it was quite a while ago, actually, probably about 8 years ago. I saw somebody doing a demonstration with this product, which is Art Graph's water-soluble graphite sticks. So I ended up buying one from, I think it was MrArt.com, and they made a mistake and sent me a whole sleeve of them. So I got like maybe a dozen of these for the price of one. So I was happy to really check things out and explore, and very happy with it. So it's definitely a part of my process when it comes to inking. And I already have a whole bunch of like immediate reactions I need to make to this, especially in this area here, because this is the this is the toughest area. This was fun because when I was inking the Upside Damsel, I ended up just black markering eek and upside down. So then obviously it's upside down. She's upside down. Har, 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 har. But it's right over the top of this crazy looking lion's claw. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I have an idea. I'll see what's gonna go. Of course, make comments, ask questions. Tell me you're there. And, we will keep working here. This might actually be a short video. Not my usual 45 minutes to an hour, because I really just wanted to get on here and do this part, which is not a terribly exciting, but if you're an artist and you're interested in the technique, seeing somebody like me do it then will help get an idea of whether that's something that you want to explore and incorporate. I also like this part of art making. It's the reveal. I just love it. I'm not a control freak. And I use the word freak in the most kindest of terms. I have a lot of artists that I'm friends with, and I admire them and their work greatly. But one of the biggest things we do not share is OCD. In other words, that controlling mechanism that some artists have to have in making something, and the fear of making mistakes. I'm actually one to invite mistakes because I just don't see them as that. It's just another direction that the image could possibly take. Now, when you're working as a professional in defense of my OCD friends professionally, you can't do that all the time. You can't be working under a deadline and then having one of these happy accidents come along and take another week and trying to figure out how to work it, incorporate it, or get back to what you were there before, because this is not digital, this is analog. So, I get it, but I also like whatever kind of comes is what comes. So this is looking good. I just rubbed my hand over the top of it just to see if I missed anywhere. You can feel the relief of but this is good. So you can see here how already there's a definition. Look at that arm. But I still got a lot of work to go on there. You got the crazy goofy lion. You got her upside down. Eek. Just look at his knee. Just sort of things that fall into place that look like. I often hear people, "Oh, you work it's so much detail." Yeah, it's detail, but it's not that kind of detail where you're like constantly making all of the little marks and just nah. That would drive me crazy. So that's where we're at here. And that literally took like 5 minutes, to remove it. So as I said, I'm going to be making some marks to help clarify some areas. The first area is this here. What's going on here? I think this one might be running out. It sounds a little empty. I think this is empty. Let's see if this will get anything out of here. Just wanted to see what this gray marker can do to separate ink from the claw. It's not bad. Still not juxtaposition, because this is going to be the tougher part of it. All right, I'm going to keep moving around here. I'm going to keep that. So a lot of this is going to be just some black line stuff. One of the ideas I had was taking some white paint, kind of making a swoosh that it kind of cuts off. I don't know. There might be a little bit of a swoosh and arc there. Just thinking out loud. Too thick. Now for this foliage that I use the photo for, I'm thinking something a little jaggy. It might I gotta be a little careful. It's not too much like this fur skirt of Crom's. Happy Friday, Dexter. I don't know if this is Lala. I just call her the upside down damsel. Haven't made that decision quite yet. Okay. One of the things I'm thinking a lot in making spotting the blacks is that I can also bring whites and gray line in there. So never get too precious, even at this point, because I'll probably spend the next 20 minutes making a path. Awesome, Dexter. Awesome. Page 5 and 6 of God Crom by Dexter Jones. This is exciting. We did an update. It'll be coming up on Crom updates on cromthebarbarian.com real soon. So this is exciting. This is exciting stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Because like right now, here's my hair. It is. Like I'm kind of thinking like this will be interesting. Woo, it's a little bleedy. That's kind of neat. Oh, I don't know if I want that much. Get a towel. I'm getting that's kind of nice. I like that. See, once again, not afraid. No such thing as mistakes. The only mistake you can make in art is not doing it. Sitting around thinking about it. Which isn't doing anybody any good. Because we want to see what your stuff is all about. And this is that, here, I'll throw it up on, yep, light to dark, dark to light, grays. Let me just throw a couple of media pieces up here. So this front piece is, that's right, there we go. So this front piece here, where the background and this front piece is from this photograph that I ended up, let me see here, throwing a halftone screen in Photoshop. So now I have to incorporate all of this together because I'm just not going to leave it there. I'm not going to cheapen the experience. So right now I'm just doing your normal it's kind of like whatever dots are left. Help create some of that. That's why this is not that bad. Because I can just come right back on it like this. Just information. For your information. For your information. For your, and I've been looking at a lot of Ken Landgraf, and there's one thing to like be inspired and copy somebody's work, But really what you want to do is study and try to figure out why they're doing it the way they're doing it, because you, like I am, are attracted to the final effect. That's why I did this. I want to ink like Ken Landgraf, which is based on his um, cover for Crom Anthology. So I commissioned him to do this, and I love it. I love the integration of the screens that he gets in there, and so I went through the process. I was actually in communication with him. He gave me the screens he used, so I was able to get those screens incorporated, and then now I'm starting to figure out my own way of processing it and getting them incorporated into my work. So you know, it's all about having a good time, because that's what art is all about. Having a good time. I know everybody wants to be the next best thing. That's a lot of work, a lot of luck. So in the meantime, just do your thing and enjoy it. Because most definitely you'll find other people who will enjoy it as well, whether they're artists or just people who like art. So cool. Yeah, thank you. And this is Isabel Demsky over on YouTube. Comes by and makes a comment. I have a collection of dip pens, and I like the way you turn the drawing as you work. Dexter, you're referring to the magic wand in Photoshop? But you made an analog version of it? That would be interesting. Just gonna start putting some stuff, vegetation lines, if you want to call them, just some scribbles in the background, just to start getting some. All right, this is coming along, and as I said, just getting the liquid mask off, and then revealing, now this what do you call it? Just the way things they're presenting themselves to me at this point. Just making some decisions. The best way I could describe the way of making the decisions is I feel like there's areas that are confused, and that they're neither holding black as their central color, or white, or even the gray is not. There's a confusion there. So I just start making either black lines like I'm doing now, or I can come back to white lines, or I can be like just making random lines. So it's all good stuff. Like I said, this will be one of those, wow, I didn't think of that. Nice, Dexter. I don't. Well, I mean, other than the one original that I commissioned, Ken Landgraf, I don't. I have. Let's see, what do I got? Yep. I mean, book wise, I have this New York City Outlaws, and then this is one of my favorites, and it's one of his most recents, as well as this classic here, which is Apocalypse 5000. So. Huge Ken Landgraf fan. Like I said, very, very, very much involved in his process, trying to just get down into where his head's at on it, and trying to incorporate whatever I get from him into my own. Yeah, these are some great books. I mean, they're more like Bibles, if you will, to making black and white indie comics. DIY, self-directed and determined. This is just a really good, example of his pinup work. I'm assuming this might be like a newer one for this piece, but this is an older piece here. I mean, all the textures and mark making, like I said, these screens. It's great. It's great. Because I can't get enough of it. Yeah, the cover definitely was done 2019. Land Graphics, Floating World Comics. And then he did this with Kirk Oldford. This was a Kickstarter that I backed. And not the biggest fan of like zombie stuff, but I just, the sample pages they showed, it just was like, oh, well, you're going to get really good paneling from Ken. So might as well. Like there's a couple here in the back, like that one, but I think if there's one more, yeah, this one. This is one of my favorites. A nice thing to meditate on. Absolutely. Absolutely, Dexter. Thank you for that comment. Yeah, it's not like copying, it's just taking information and then applying it through yourself and figuring out. Love it. Like I said, just love these screens, and the way they're incorporated. Definitely in like drapery, effects. Just love it. Love it. So can't get enough. And he's going to have, I think, at least 4 pages in the upcoming Crom anthology. So he's super busy right now. And we'll see what comes about in timing. But I'm hoping he'll be able to make some time for Crom. Yeah, because I think I'm going to make this here black. Because once again, I have to reiterate that as much as this is artwork, hey, Carlos, how's it going? The books I just showed up, they are all available. Floating World, you'll be able to get. These are Floating World. This one, floatingworldcomics.com, I think is where you get them. These two are, and I think this one you have to go through Kickstarter to get a copy of it. But, that's that. But the thing that I was saying is that this is about the reproduction. So it's all about the reproduction. So everything that you're seeing is got to turn into flat black and white when it gets printed. So that's another thing that I keep thinking about as I'm working through this. That's one that's drying out. All right. So one of the other things too, they throw another graphic up here is, do I have it here? I should. Let me see. This one, that's my sketch. So that's the cool kind of fun part about it is like the way, you start with something and you gotta just, for me, let it go. You just gotta roll with it. Just, I know everybody's out there trying to make a buck. Gotta get it to the publisher. Gotta get it to the fans. But I think there's something about taking your time and really getting involved with the work so that it's unique. It'll hold more unique feeling to it. Like, who did that? Like, that's pretty cool. That's a neat technique. That's a neat, getting those getting people to make that kind of recognition of your work instead of, oh, that's another one of those, or that's just like that. I think is one of the challenging things we have to face in being artists nowadays, especially when you have computers able to mimic styles. I think that's the combat we're involved in right now. Is how are we going to have the window open because it's super hot out? Yeah, how are we going to be different, differentiate ourselves, not compete? Don't even worry about the competing. It's not a John Henry man against the machine. Don't waste your breath on that. But definitely figure out ways to make yourself sing. That unique voice that is only you. Yeah, I'm already starting to see areas that I'm going to want to. This here, I'm starting to feel like it should be more gray, flat gray. So I'm probably start getting some gouache in here, but not right now. I don't. Well, maybe. You know what? I am going to. I just made my mind up. Let me get some gouache. Everybody remembers the gouache. Make sure I've got some clean water. Got some clean water. I'm not even going to worry about the water pencil. I mean, the water brush I've been using. I'm just going to use just a cheapo brush just to grab some. Just writing something down. I'll be back. Okay. Because like I said, I have some area. Like I just keep thinking, oh, what about this? 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 And then it gets to a point where it festers so long, I have to make a decision. Or more importantly, like it's not even like make a decision. It's I got to do something about it. Not be afraid. Well, that's actually a nice gray. But I'm going to just get a little bit more. Now, see this thing. This is the thing about gouache. None of this is all dry paint. And it's just water. I'm just reactivating it. Because I'm not trying to create too opaque of a covering. So, like I said, the big thing I want to, this is supposed to be some ground here, like jungle ground. So, I'm going to just get some jungle ground in here. And it'll be interesting to see how the screen that I printed reacts. Like I like this already, like 1,000 times more. I'll kind of balance it out by throwing a little bit over here. Yeah, like that's a whole, yeah, I might even come over here. Do just like, this like be a tree line here. So, and the thing too is that I can get back some of that by bringing in just water. So not, like I said, not too scared, but I need some white. Grab a little bit of white just to be able to have some Get over here. Some non-dirty white. Because I want to get something here on the hair. So this kind of calms down the harshness of the lines, especially when you have a character's hair who's blonde. A bit contradictory. I think I am going to do this to her too. But only in certain areas. I might have to get some more white. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Because once again, this is all about what ends up printing. Pretty as a picture, yes. Well, let's see how it prints. That's the decisions that I'm making right now. Let's see how it prints. Wow, I really like this. Really like this a lot. I actually am going to use get a little more. This is just his jungle kilt here. Just to create a difference there. You know what? I've seen something else. This is the way it goes. You just got to keep following the thoughts. Keep following the thoughts. And here it comes. You ready, everybody? No! How are you doing that way? Watch this. Watch this. Bing! I like that. So I got to do that to his head too now. This will just create, because, okay, so just before I do this, why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing this is that this figure, and this figure is all on the same plane, right? So this figure has got to have something happen, either go black or white, as well as this. So it's almost like she's going to be white, she's going to be gray, he's going to be gray, or it's going to be gray, and then he's going to have to create actually probably more darks in him. So this, he'll get more and more darker in shadow, like he's coming out of the shadows to things. So it'll be black to gray to white. So that's one of the major decisions I just made today here, live streaming on both YouTube and Instagram. So now just painting in some areas, nothing to worry about because I can just and then I'm going to leave. Well, no, yeah, let's just do a little bit of this. Dexter, do you have any books on the way John Byrne does his things, especially when it comes down to that grid technique you're mentioning? Oh, man, this is great. Oh, my God, it's like a screen, too. All right. That's fantastic, everybody. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Let's call it a day. Woo. So that is a long way from where we were with all that blue on there. All right, well, that is 45 minutes of Crom goodness, drawing live here. Let me just do my plug. If you made it this far, thank you so very much. If you're into Crom the Barbarian, black and white sword and sorcery goodness, here's 140 pages, sword and sorcery, magazine size. It's got a nice newsprinty kind of feel and vibe. This is still available on cromthebarbarian.com. Cromthebarbarian.com. Actually, let's see if I can get. I think this is. I thought that was. I think that's actual white paint. It's cool. Actually, I could use do this. There you go. It's all art, babies. It's all art. So, cromthebarbarian.com. This collects my 4 stories, Crom's youth, Gardner Fox, John Gunta's 1950s, and then illustrated a Gardner Francis Fox 1952 planet story called Warlock of Sharador, made it in Crom the Warlock of Sharador, basically sword and sorcery-fied it. Also added to the 35 pages, 35 illustrations. Had 5 cover artists come in and do some great work. David Molina. And we're working on Crom-centric comics stories. Drawn Sword, which there's going to be some announcements. There's a 32-page art book called Scoundrel's Dread that's going to be coming our way. I'm going to be doing a pre-sale campaign to help get the funds to get the books over here to the U.S. Just talking about our man Ken Landgraf, Adam Dodds, another individual that I will continue working with into collaboration on Crom Anthology, and Jason Schoonover as well, working on Crom Dahar, which is a 6-pager where he'll pencil layout and I will do the inks. Call for collaborations. And the collaborations part means that you and I work together on a Crom story. It doesn't mean that I have to work on anything you're working on. If you're sharing something, I'm more than happy to get you to come on a Crom Updates and share it. This is really what it's all about for me. Is I've got my version of Crom, which is a public domain character that I do not claim any ownership of, and want to see more and more people. Today, I just finished reading issue number 2. I've read both of these issues. Lucky Comics. And this one had only 1 story illustrated by Jim Gullett, and then the stories are John Michael Helmner. But these were great. These are fantastic little trips. This is an entire story in here. Really, really cool. And we'll be looking forward to talking to Jim about this. Hopefully, too, John Michael Helmer. And then, where are you? Brutal Blade of Crom. I'm actually tomorrow morning, I'm going to be talking with Jamie Barrows, which is one of like 6 guys who worked on their own Crom. And it's so exciting. So this is really, 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 really getting excited. And I'm going to try to get everybody. I've already actually talked to Alex Turbin and Alan Robinson on the Turbo Pit Fighter Indie Comic Exchange. So if you're not familiar, I also am one half of Turbo Pit Fighter, co-authoring and inking. This is our teaser. We do an exchange, but yeah, that's really what it's all about. I can't thank you guys for enough for stopping by, sitting with me as I work through this piece. Looks like the next time I sit down, I'll be getting a lot more details in there. As I said, she's going to predominantly stay white in the light. Sword as well, maybe a little area here, kind of knock out some darks here. Our lion has become gray, and then I still got foliage, so there's still a bit of ways to go. I'd say I'm probably about 60-ish% of the way along, so but it's coming along nicely, and I'm having a good time with it. So with that being said, I will see you guys soon again. I probably won't be on until maybe Monday, because I've got Saturday and Sunday scheduled for podcasting. So, but hey, there's enough. But thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Visit cromthebarbarian.com.